Hey, Brian here on the farm again. Welcome back. Wanted to shoot a quick video demonstrating exactly what goats can do for a pasture. If you look behind me here, you'll see a pasture we have not been using, and in the spring and summer it's so full of thorns and bristles and everything else you can't hardly walk through it, nonetheless even drive through it with the mule. It gets a little hairy. Over here, I'll shoot some more video, is a creek that rushes down into Little Creek and then the Burbus River. So fence lines down here sometimes get taken out. Now, when my employers bought this farm, I don't think this field had been used for many years. So, you know, we're just getting around to fixing this one. But I wanted you to take a look at this, and I'll shoot some more video. And then I'm gonna go right behind me over here and show you a pasture that looked just like this that the goats have been grazing on for 2 years, and show you exactly what they can do. And this is early March. We don't even have spring growth yet, but I think you'll see quite a dramatic difference. So like I said, I'm gonna take a little walk through this pasture, show you some of the things that we're trying to fix, show you just how thick it is in spots, and then I'm gonna show you one, like I said, that was just like it 2 years ago, and it's looking great. So here we go. So this is the pasture that we have not been using, and we are going to clear out this entire what used to be a fence line down here, and this pasture is shaped like a triangle. It's kind of a smaller pasture. I think it's about, it might even be under an acre, but really fertile. Like I said, you can walk down in here, and there's some tracks through here because they've been taking the vehicles through here in the winter for some trapping, but you can see the edge over here, multi-floor rows and everything else. So we're gonna start working on this today actually, and we're gonna reclaim this pasture. The fence line where that gate is back there all the way up to that corner, and from that corner down to here actually looks pretty good. The pasture you see just beyond that gate there is where we'll be going. It used to look just like this. So I don't think we're gonna have to fix all of that. Hopefully we'll have to get outside of it and trim it. It's the woven wire fencing. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know how much I don't love that. So it's quite a turbulent little area. All the creeks on the rest of the farm that flow through here, and our pasture up there drains in here, and they all kind of come together right down past this gate. So fencing an area off like this makes it so you got to be a little creative. And I believe we've got some eagles that are nesting down here. I think you can see it actually up in that tree. So we'll have to be careful with the goat kids down here in this pasture. But it's gonna prove to be a beautiful pasture, and it's gonna give us one more paddock to rotate through, because we're gonna do an alley system down here in this center pasture, which is going to allow us to split all 3 of these areas down here into 3 spots instead of using them as one. And I will go ahead and insert a picture here so you can see a map actually of the layout of this. Okay, so here's the map as promised. The red line is our alley, which goes to the various paddocks. The 2 top triangles are the paddocks that we're using now, and the bottom triangle is the one that we're working on that I've shown you in this video. As you can see, the boom mower and the brush hog are going to get used pretty heavy in here, but the rest of this we're going to let the goats tear down, and I think they're going to love it. Going to pull some great nutrition out of here. The grass in this pasture just really lush, really thick, and one of these days I will take you down to the pasture that I don't know if we'll ever get around to using it, that's right on the river, and that's probably the thickest thatch you've ever seen. So now I'm going to take you over to the next pasture right next to it, and like I said, probably about 3 times now, it used to look like this, and I want to show you what the goats have been able to do. So let's go for a little walk here. You can see these braces here are probably going to have to be replaced. They've taken some beatings. You know, all these little creeks flow down into this center one right here, so it can get a little bit violent. But believe it or not, some of that woven wire has held up. So we'll just need to make a little alley through here. This section over here will be another project, that whole hillside between here and what we call a cow pasture up top. We hope to fence that off, and really that's just going to require a line of timeless down the hill once we get this pasture done. So it's really going to start coming together. Now back to the point and less of my rambling. We repaired this entire fence line here. The water and the vegetation had actually pulled down this woven wire fence to where even trying to pull it out with a tractor was a nightmare, because the ground just got a hold of it. So that's one of the things you'll run into with that stuff. But as you can see, this pasture is just doing absolutely great. And there's another one right down past that gate right there. So what we will do is shoot an alley right here with a temporary fence. And what we're thinking right now is close off that gate, let them have this center pasture. And if you go back and look at that map, you'll know what I'm talking about. And we'll open up our main alley, which is right over here. And that main alley goes back up to the barns and the house, and that's basically what feeds all these pastures. And this paddock down here, you can see, or this pasture, we're going to split into 2 paddocks the next time around, because we've restored the electric fence, the feeder line, like a standoff line all the way down to this corner now. And we hope to get this pasture up here today done so we can split that in 2. That's about a 6-acre pasture, so really great vegetation up there too. So things are coming together. I think we'll have about 11 paddocks when this is all done. And obviously taking care of the pastures is a big piece of that. But our main purpose in having so many paddocks is to stay ahead of the parasites, mainly the barber pole worm. And you can see other videos on that in the future. I'll go into that a little more detail. But I hope you can see a good before and after of what the goats are able to do. And they will absolutely, given enough time and given enough goats, they will turn it into a park-like appearance. You know, this used to be hard to walk through just like this other stuff. And I don't know this time of year if you can really appreciate just how dense this new paddock that we're about to do is, but you can't walk too far into it in the spring without everything grabbing hold of you. So I hope you found this video helpful, and exactly maybe it demonstrated exactly what goats can do for your farm. God bless you and have a great day. So it's later in the day. The crew came down here with the brush hog, boom mower, and I helped them a little bit with the chainsaw, and you can see quite a difference in this field already. So we've got a little bit of repair to do. It's not nearly as bad as we thought it was. This fence is down right here, but for the most part it's actually in great shape. So it looks like we're going to do a little bit of patchwork on it, and we should be in business to get goats in here. We're just going to have to fix over here all these posts around the gate and do, I think, one more spot over in here where there's some fence down. A big tree got dropped on the fence. Other than that, I think we'll have goats in here probably in about 15 days. You can see here we went up and down this fence line. We used the pole saw to get the tall branches, and then actually used the small chainsaws to go in here and cut on both sides of this fence to clean it all up. And we'll come through with the chipper and get all that stuff. As is typical here, we found a second fence, which I call the Missouri Surrender, where they just like, well, we're not going to cut anything, so we'll just build a new fence out here. And actually a little bit further back we found a third one. So this pasture over time, apparently with previous owners, got smaller and smaller, and it does not take long for it to overgrow. But project's looking great, and hope to have another update for you in the future. God bless you.